Channel Stoic Enlightenment Era, I salute you, who have found this video not by chance, but because something inside you is awakening. If you are watching this, I believe that your energy is tuned into a very special frequency, one that is not for everyone. Of the thousands of videos that pass by every day, not everyone ends up here, but you are here, right now. And it could be the beginning of something very different. Today, I want to share with you something that seems very simple, but can completely change the way you live. Work and develop yourself. Small, consistent actions are more powerful than explosive inspiration. We live in a world of instant motivation. With just a few clicks, you can watch hundreds of inspirational videos. Each one tells you, get fired up, get out there, do something big today. Sounds great, but there's one problem. Inspiration, no matter how powerful, is just a spark. And you know what happens to a flame without fuel? It goes out, quickly. I've been there. Some days I wake up determined. Write down plans, make commitments to myself, but after a few days, I'm back to the same old cycle: procrastination, frustration, self-doubt, because I'm waiting for inspiration to get started. And when inspiration doesn't come, I do nothing. Then I learned an important lesson from the Stoics, especially Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. Don't act on emotion, act on reason and discipline. I started small, very small. Instead of waiting until I felt inspired to write, I committed to writing just 100 words every morning, whether I felt anything or not. Instead of waiting until I felt motivated to hit the gym, I just walked out the door and took a 5-minute walk. And you know what happened? A week, a month, 6 months passed. I wrote thousands of words. I was stronger, more determined, not because I had energy all the time, but because I chose to act, even when I didn't feel inspired. You see, inspiration is a beautiful thing to start with, but action is what keeps you going. And sometimes, just one small action, repeated every day, is more powerful than a spectacular push that disappears. If you find yourself procrastinating today, if you're waiting for inspiration, I urge you to try something else. Start. Even if it's a small thing. But do it today, and continue tomorrow. Because change doesn't come from a gust of inspiration. It comes from repeated steps, rain or shine, and if you persevere, I promise, one day you'll look back and see, you've come a lot further than most people who live by emotion alone. If this resonates with you, if you feel something stirring in your heart, hit the like button to let me know you're here. Don't forget to subscribe. Stoic Enlightenment Erato. Continue receiving profound messages like this. Welcome to a space of enlightenment and practice. Take a deep breath and let the journey begin. Have you ever had that feeling of extreme excitement while watching an inspirational video? Right then, you want to change your life. You want to start that project you've been putting off for so long. You want to wake up at 5 a.m. You want to go for a run, write a book, learn a language, become a better version of yourself. Then what happened? The next day, the inspiration was gone. You wake up, tired, and that familiar voice in your head says, "Let's do it tomorrow." And tomorrow never comes. Today, I want to tell you a truth that not everyone wants to admit. Inspiration is a state, not a strategy. It comes and it goes. It's like the wind, sometimes strong, Sometimes still, you can't depend on inspiration to build a solid life, just as you can't build a house on sunlight alone. You know what's more dangerous than inspiration? It's something that happens inside your brain: dopamine. Dopamine is the chemical that makes you feel excited and thrilled when you do something new. Watch a motivational video? Dopamine surges. Have a new idea? Dopamine hits. Think about a great future outcome? Dopamine makes you feel like you're getting closer to achieving it. But dopamine is also a double-edged sword. It makes you addicted to the feeling of starting, but disgusted with the maintenance. Small, repetitive actions every day, like writing a page of a book, exercising for 10 minutes, meditating for 5 minutes, don't feel as high as they did at first. Your brain starts complaining, "This is boring," and you give up. We live in an age where everything is optimized for dopamine addiction: social media, short videos, music, motivational podcasts. But ironically, what gives you a quick dopamine hit doesn't keep you there for long. It makes you addicted to bursts of inspiration, but it doesn't train you to be persistent. Have you noticed that the most successful people are not the ones who are always excited? They are people who can act without inspiration. They understand that success doesn't come from one night of high-energy sleeplessness. It comes from hundreds of ordinary, boring, routine days where they do the work, even when no one is cheering them on, even when they don't see immediate results. If you are waiting for inspiration to start something, I'm telling you the truth, you'll be waiting forever. Start first, act first, then inspiration, if needed, will come later. Because you can't control when inspiration strikes, but you can control when you take the first step. There is a truth that very few people truly believe until they experience it for themselves. Big change doesn't come in giant leaps, it comes in small steps. Repeated every day. Welcome to the channel Stoic Enlightenment Era, where we explore philosophies of life that have existed for thousands of years, but are still valuable today. If you are looking for a sustainable way of life, a profound direction, then this video is for you. Today, I want to share with you a concept that can change your life, if you truly understand it: compound effect. Imagine you have a bucket, and every day you add a drop of water to it. At first, it doesn't seem like much. The first week, it's still almost empty. A month later, still not much has changed. But you persist, adding a drop every day. And then, one day, the bucket is full, not because of any one drop, but because of consistency. So is your life. You don't need to run a marathon every day to be healthy. You just need to walk 30 minutes a day. Do that for a year, and you'll be much healthier than the person who works out like crazy for 2 weeks and then gives up. Look at this number. If you write 200 words a day, just half a page, after a year you'll have over 70,000 words. It's a complete book. If you read 10 pages of a book every day, less than 20 minutes, you'll read more than 3,600 pages in a year, equivalent to about 12 to 15 books. You will know more, think deeper, and have a distinct advantage in both work and life. If you exercise for 15 minutes a day, just a YouTube video, some stretching, after a year, you'll have almost 90 hours of activity. Not only does it improve health, it also boosts confidence and alertness. I know, it sounds simple, But why can't so many people do it? Because they wait for inspiration. They want to feel ready, motivated, determined, and then get started. But successful people don't do that. They don't wait for emotions. They turn action into habit. They understand that consistency is better than short-term excellence. You don't need to sprint. You need to walk steadily. You don't have to write a book in a week. You just have to keep at it for a year. And you don't have to change your life today. You just have to start making changes a little bit every day. That is why Stoicism, the philosophy of life of resilient people like Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus, always emphasizes discipline, regularity, and control of actions. Not to become mechanical, but to become truly free. Because he who knows how to control his small actions is the master of his destiny. If these awaken something in you, give them a try. It doesn't have to be much. Just a small thing. And repeat tomorrow. I believe, after a year, you will no longer recognize yourself. If you found this video helpful, please like to let me know you're here. And subscribe to the channel Stoic Enlightenment Erato. Continue with me on the journey of building a strong, stable inner self, from the smallest actions. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take a step today. There is one thing that I believe you will agree with me. We live in an emotional world. Everything is encouraged to feel right, motivate, inspire, and then do it. But if you only act when the feeling is right, you will never get where you want to go. And that is why, in these noisy times, I return to the ancient philosophy of the Stoics. That philosophy doesn't teach you to be cold. It teaches you to be sober. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest emperors of ancient Rome, once wrote, "Don't waste time arguing about what is good. Be it." You see, he didn't say, "Wait until you feel inspired to do the right thing." He said, "Do it." Right action does not depend on emotions. It is a duty, a responsibility, a statement of life. I used to wait for inspiration to start writing, to change myself, to take care of my health, to apologize to someone. But inspiration always comes late. Or worse, it doesn't come. Then I read the teachings of Epictetus, a slave-turned-philosopher. He said, "You can't control when inspiration strikes, but you can always control the first step." That statement changed me. I began to understand that every morning when I opened my eyes, I had a choice. I don't need to feel energized. I don't need to listen to motivational music. I can still do the right thing. Every action, no matter how small, no matter how silent, is a time for me to train myself. Not because of feelings, but because I choose to be like that. And then, there is Seneca, the philosopher who always advises us to look straight at pain, at the impermanence of life. He once wrote, "The strong person is not the one who explodes. The strong person is the one who continues, even when his heart is empty." Does this sound familiar? There are days when you wake up and find yourself with no motivation at all. Feels drained, empty, but you still stand up. Still brushing teeth, still working, still facing life. That is power. Not a flash in the pan, but a persistence when nothing else holds you back. Seneca teaches us that discipline is higher than emotion. Regular action is not rigidity, it is the expression of someone who understands what is important. Intelligent people don't need emotions to act. They just need will and direction. And you know what's great? You have it in you too. You don't have to feel in the right mood to start making changes. You just need to start. So if you're sitting there, waiting for a sign, an inspiration, a nudge from the universe, consider this video to be that sign. Stand up, do what you know is right. No need to be perfect. No need to be brilliant. Just be consistent every day. And if what I share touches something in you, please like and subscribe to the channel Stoic Enlightenment Era. We will go far, not in impulsive leaps, but in small actions, repeated. Do you ever feel overwhelmed by change? Knowing I need to live healthier, need to focus more, need to start a life project, but don't know where to start because everything is so big? If you have been there, then so have I, and I have realized this. We don't need to change the whole world, just change the first 2 minutes of our day. Welcome back to Stoic Enlightenment Era, where the small steps you take every day add up to the most profound changes in your life. And today, I want to share with you something practical, simple, yet powerful. How to build small habits that bring big results. The first thing you need to remember: start small, so small that you have no excuse not to do it. No need for 1 hour at the gym. Just 2 minutes. No need to write a whole book chapter. Just a short paragraph, 50 words, or even just 1 line. It's not how much you do, it's how you do it. Begin. And here is secret number 2. Associate the new habit with an action you already do. For example, after you brush your teeth, right pointing arrow, drink a glass of water. After making coffee, right pointing arrow, open the note app and write down a small idea. After turning off the lights and getting ready to sleep, right pointing arrow, read a page of a book. When you tie your new habit to something that's already on your schedule, it stops feeling like a have to. It becomes a natural part of your day. Next tip: don't skip 2 days in a row. Anyone can miss a day. That's normal. But don't miss 2 days in a row. Because the word quit once can easily slip into give up. Think of it this way: you may fall, but learn how to get up the next day. That's the difference between someone who persists and someone who gives up. And finally, take note of the progress. You don't need complicated spreadsheets. Just mark your calendar every day you complete your small habit. An X on the calendar is enough to show you that you are on the right track. Now let's look at some small habits that can be implemented right away. They only take a few minutes a day, but cumulatively can change your life. Health. Drink water after waking up. Take 1 minute of deep breaths before getting out of bed. Mind. Write 3 diary entries every night. Read 1 page of a book before going to bed. Job. Clean a small corner of your desk. Write down 1 thing to do for tomorrow. Personal development. Listen to a podcast for 5 minutes. Write down any idea you see. Nothing is too big, and nothing is too small to start. But there will be times when you lose motivation. When that happens, remember, you don't need inspiration to take action. You just need action to inspire. Go back to why you started in the first place. Remind yourself, 1 small action today is better than doing nothing at all. Because sometimes, as long as you don't stop, you've already won over 90% of people out there. If you find this video useful, Please like and subscribe to the channel Stoic Enlightenment Era. We are not looking for breakthrough change. We build progress small, steady steps, every day. Do you recognize this familiar thing? Every time a new year comes, we often set big goals. Lose 10 kilograms, read 50 books, run a marathon, build your first business, and in the first week, I felt extremely excited. We dive in, fired up, determined. It feels like this time is different. But then, a month later, most of us are back to square one. Emotions plummet, things fall apart, and we blame ourselves. I am so weak. But you know what? It's not about you. It's about how you start. Welcome back to the channel Stoic Enlightenment Era. Today, together we will break the burnout cycle to build a truly sustainable journey of progress from within. First, forget about setting goals that are too big when you first start. There's nothing wrong with dreaming big, but starting out with something too far out of reach, it's only going to burn you out. Instead, focus on the process, not the outcome. Do you want to lose 10 kilograms? Don't just think about the number. Think about taking a 20-minute walk every morning. Do you want to write a book? Don't force yourself to write 5 chapters a week. Start by writing 200 words a day. And instead of measuring emotions, do I feel motivated today? Measure habits. Ask, can I maintain a chain of small actions every day? Because emotions are fickle, but habits are stable. Second, rebuild your own behavioral identity. Every small action you do is a time you redefine yourself. When you write every day, you're not just writing, you're saying to yourself, I am the one who can maintain. I am the one who writes. I don't wait for inspiration. When you exercise for even 5 minutes, you are saying, I am a health lover. I do not give up. These statements are not in your head. It's in the behavior, in the things you actually do, without being told. And finally, one thing I learned from Stoic philosophy is to redefine discipline. Discipline is not self-torture. It's not about forcing yourself to do something you hate. Discipline is a form of self-love for the future. When you choose the right action today, even if it's not fun, convenient, or has immediate results, you're sending yourself a gift later. When you choose hard now, you are making it easier later. Discipline is the courage to believe in accumulation, even when the results are not yet visible. Keep going, even if you don't feel like it. It is staying with the journey when others have given up. And you can do it. No need to burn every day. Just don't turn it off completely. If you feel like this video touched something inside you, hit the like button to let me know you're on board. And don't forget to subscribe Stoic Enlightenment Era. Because this journey is not a race. It is an inner practice. Step by step, day by day. We don't need any more inspiration. We need faith in small, persistent actions. We often admire successful people. The man who wrote 5 books. The man who lost 30 kilograms. The man who built a career from scratch. We look at them and wonder, how do they do that? And we think, they must have some special talent, or some strong inspiration. They must have extraordinary willpower, or never-ending motivation. But you know the irony? Most successful people I've met, none of them say they're always inspirational. On the contrary, They say, I act, even when I don't feel like it. Welcome to Stoic Enlightenment era, where we decode ordinary things that have extraordinary power. And what I want you to take away from this video is one simple truth. You don't need inspiration to get started. All you need is a small action. And repeat, inspiration is like the weather. It changes. Some days are sunny. Some days are rainy. Some days you feel motivated. Some days you don't want to get out of bed. But you can't wait for perfect weather to start living. Just like you can't wait for perfect feelings to do the right thing. If you want to climb a high mountain, you can look up at the top and find it overwhelming. But no one gets there in one jump. They go step by step. Even if you're tired, even if you're bored, even if there are times when you look back and see that you haven't come very far. But the amazing thing is, whoever goes long enough will arrive, and they don't need inspiration to do it. They need persistence. They need a system. They need a reason bigger than the momentary excitement. You can start today with one small action. Write a short paragraph. Clear a corner of your desk. Drink a glass of water instead of that third coffee. Meditate for 2 minutes before going to bed. Those things are not impressive enough to share online. But if you do them every day, they will rebuild your whole being. No fireworks needed. No breakthrough needed. Just don't give up. You may be waiting for inspiration to get started. But I am here to say, action is what inspires, not the other way around. So pick one small thing today. Do it, and repeat tomorrow. Don't think too far. Don't think too long. Just start. And if you feel like what I share touches you, hit like to let me know you're still with me. Subscribe to channel Stoic Enlightenment Erato. Continue receiving insightful content that helps you build resilience, self-control, and inner strength, one step at a time. No inspiration needed, just the first step, then one more step, and one day, you will look back and see, you have climbed to the top of yourself. If what's in this video touches you, don't walk away quietly. Leave a sign that you are on the journey of growth by liking this video, sharing it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribing to the Stoic Enlightenment Era channel. When you hit the notification bell, you're not just subscribing to a channel, you're feeding yourself with deep, mindful, and empowering messages within. And if you have any thoughts, feelings, or even just a small action you've started, please share them in the comments. I read every word you write, and look forward to being with you. Thank you for being here, and remember, one small step today could be the door to changing your whole life.